In this video, 3 Grandmasters, including myself, have been challenged to Bullet Catan by the EmeraldAngel. We're playing Settlers of Catan with only 40 seconds per turn. Can these players perform under time pressure? And who will win the game? Our first Grandmaster is Shinislaw. He has won 2 King of Catan championships and he places on a 9-5-10 and points towards the coast. The 5-9-10 is a critical good spot because it has strong ore and strong wheat, and especially wheat is pretty rare on this board. He points towards the coast because that's a good way to get a port, and because it's very unlikely the spots around him will become available. Next up is Cheese. He has won 3 different online Catan tournaments and he placed his first settlement on the 8-4-10. His road is pointed towards the 8-3 because he wants to build on a brick board. The brick board allows him to trade 2 bricks for any card he wants, which will give him great flexibility. Next up is our challenger, the EmeraldAngel. She places her first settlement on the 8-5-10. The 8-5-10 is the spot with the most production, which means with average dice rolls, EmeraldAngel gains the most cards from this spot. I'm Trigosaurus, I'm a 6-time Catan Tournament finalist and I have an interesting decision to make. There are a couple of good spots on this board, like the 6-5-11 and the 6-9-3. I think I want to combine them, however there is a really weird balance within this game. I only have 2 points of wheat production and I have 9 points of ore production. Like the 6 and the 9 combined give way more ore than I get wheat. And the same can be said for brick. However, because I have 2 2-for-1 ports at the coast, the ore port and the brick port, I can make it so that these imbalances actually can become a strength. Because if I can trade with the bank, then I can make relatively efficient trades. EmeraldAngel places on the 8-4-3, which gives her good road production. By placing her settlements near each other, she has a good way to connect her settlements. And that means is that she places 2 roads between them and another one, and then she has 5 consecutive roads, giving her the longest road. And that's a great way to get some extra points. Cheese places on the 10-3-11. This gives him a little bit more wood and he is very likely the 6-3-11 will be left open. That leaves him with a really strong third settlement spot. And that way he gains all 5 resources on a really decent clip. Shinislaw places on a 9-4-11 with his settlement and rolls a 7. 9-4-11 is really good with ore wheat sheep because now he has 2 ore spots, 2 wheat spots and a good sheep spot, giving him good production for cities and development cards. So he rolls a 7. So now we're going to see what he's going to decide. With the low timer, I don't think he can extort us, but he can definitely steal from EmeraldAngel. Cheese places down the road to go to the 6-3-11 like I expected he would. And now we roll the 9, which is critical for Shinislaw. His setup is really strong because every time the 9 rolls, he gains an ore and a wheat. And ore and a wheat go really well together, considering both get used for cities and development cards. I pass my turn and Shinislaw rolls the 2. I could have placed down a road, but the reason I decided not to do this is to see what are my opponents going to do. And another advantage is that I don't want them to steal my ore. I want it to be less likely for them to steal my ore. And if I place it down a road, they get a 100% chance of stealing it. We see a trade between Shinislaw and EmeraldAngel, and now Cheese rolls the 8, giving a lot of break to EmeraldAngel, and now the 5 we see as well. So with 9 cards, she might be able to do something. I think her first priority should be to get a city, or to get on a really efficient port. The reason she wants to get a city early is because that's the most toughest thing to do for a player. Like, she doesn't gain any ore, so it's really difficult for her to get a city. Placing on a 9-10-2 also helps, because then she can get ore and wheat, which will help her get a city. So I roll a 9, so I'm quite sure that Shinislaw has a city in his hand right now. How do I approach this? Okay, now I place down the road because I have 6 cards. If a 7 rolls, I lose half my cards if I have more than 7 cards. That's why I place it down now. And Shinislaw built a city on the strongest spot on the map. So the 5-9-10 is the first spot he took, and I think it's a good very good city spot. And he's pointed his roads towards 3-for-1 port on the 10 ore. Nobody is racing with that for him, as Cheese pointed his roads toward the 8-3. So it's very unlikely Cheese will be able to steal that from him. So next up is EmeraldAngel, and she rolls a 6. She doesn't gain any cards with that, but he already had the settlement and built it on a 10-9-2. So this is really good for her, because now she gains all 5 resources. The wheat is maybe a little low, and we roll the 8. And her next settlement is indeed going to be on a 3-for-1 port, so that also helps. It's still a good move, even though she doesn't gain a city yet. The 3-for-1 port will be able to make it easier for her to get a city, because then she is able to trade any 3 of the same resources in for an ore. And we do 2 for 2 here, which will give me a city with Pankachis, and he will be able to get a settlement out of this. So I place it on the 6-5-11 because if I place on the ore wheat spot, then I'm more likely to city up the second spot faster. If an 11 and a 6 roll, for example, I already almost have a city. Shinislaw has to decide who to steal from, and okay, so he's placing it on a free wood because he lacked the brick, I assume, and the free roll, so I get lucky here for not being blocked. Because I already have the city, I think I have a pretty solid shot. However, an argument I made during the whole game was that EmeraldAngel has a really good potential to take the longest road during this game. That effectively puts her on 5 points already. So that's like, there's no other player who can really compete with her for the longest road. Maybe Pankachis, but that's difficult because he won't be able to connect his spots. Pankachis got the settlement on the 6-3-11 and now we roll 10. I have 2 wood and ore in a hand, so I can't really do anything with that. And I roll the 6, or Shinislaw rolls the 6, which is crazy good for me. Another 6. And Pankachis passes his turn, so EmeraldAngel also rolls the 10. The 10 is especially good for Pankachis as he has those coordinated, so now he gets an ore and a wheat every time the 10 rolls. And I roll a 7, so like I said before, now I have more than 7 cards, so I have to hand in half of them, -1. Like, if it's an uneven number, I don't have to... I don't know why I leave it like this, but I only need 1 wood and 1 brick. Someone might be interested in wood, I don't know exactly why I kept the wood, I think it's okay. I took a wheat, so that's very helpful. And Shinislaw rolls the 7 now as well. Let's see where he is going to put it. He's going to put it on a 3 again. Interestingly, he could have also put it on a 6 ore. He decides to go with the 3. So I get lucky again. 4 rolls. Pankachis is indeed going for the 8-3, which is a pretty good spot for him. EmeraldAngel points towards the 11-4. I don't know what this is going to do. Of course, it makes her longest road longer. I would have maybe... So I try to offer wheat and I see what I can get for it. I'm going to see if I can get an ore from Shinislaw from this. And oh wow, there's actually 2 players willing to give me an ore and I get a city on a 6-9-3. So what I did with that open-ended trade is that I offered the wheat to see who would be interested. And wow, Shinislaw built a city and a settlement on the same turn. So my city was a big move, but this is a way bigger. So Pankachis also gets a city, so it was a mutually beneficial trade, and the 11 rolls, which is very important to me because I have a lot of ore, so every wheat that I get has an extremely high value. So now I'm trying to get a sheep, so I can settle on the port, and I do a trade with Pankachis again, helping us both out. Although now he goes to 8 cards, so I think I have, and if he has 8 cards, then he's more likely to 7 out. Okay, so I also help him to 9, and now I get the development card. So effectively I did a 4 for 2, putting him over 7 cards, but I get the development card and a settlement out of this. So that's a pretty good deal for both of us, I'd say. So Shinislaw builds a road, also rolls a 9. So Shinislaw is in a really strong position right now as well. Pankachis built on the brick board, and our challenger is now in a really tough position because everyone here has so much production. She still has the longest road locked up. Has to do something to get equal in production. It wouldn't hurt to steal from me right now, as she would be able to get an ore. However, Shinislaw is a little too scary, and this settlement on the 3-front board will definitely help her. We roll a 3, giving Pankachis 4 wood in a single turn. Now the 9 rolls, blocking the wheat for Shinislaw. He is unlikely to city up again. However, with 6 cards he can do a lot of damage. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to pass his turn. Pankachis is also going to roll 9, so 4 wheat has already been blocked by this robber. So this was a big move. Like, if this goes on a 6 ore, then Shinislaw here runs away with the game. It's very good block, so wow, another 9. So a lot of ore in the game right now. If anybody has a monopoly, this might actually be a really good moment. Especially for me, as I have the ore port, giving me the opportunity to trade in 2 ores for a free card. And ooh, I rolled a 7, so I have to toss in 5 of my cards. So let's see what I'm going to go with. I don't need extra wood. So... like, I already have 3 settlement spots, so I'm going to leave it there and just use the ore for my ore port. I get a wheat, good city again. However, I could also get a development card. So first I'm going to see whether or not I can make this trade with someone else, but I realized that there hasn't been a 5 rolls recently, but now there is, so interesting. I get a knight, so I have 2 knights already. Nobody else has played a knight, so okay, there we have Ponkacheese who plays a knight. If he doesn't get a knight here, I'm still leading in the army contest. 4 rolls, okay, so Ponkacheese doesn't get another knight, so I'm leading this army contest. And the 8th roll, so EmeraldAngel with 11 cards. Maybe with the 3 for 1 port he is able to get a city now and catch up in the game again. So gets the wheat, he trades in 3 ore for a wheat. I disagree with this move because she needs her ore no matter what. Going to put the rubber on Shinislaw. Steal from Shinislaw, I think. Yes, for sure. So I pick up a wood. I don't think I can do a lot here. I could 4 for 1, cheap for brick, but that's just the road. Oh, which might get taken away by Ponkacheese on this turn anyways. Like, he's also trying to look at the 6th well. So I agree with holding here and maybe doing something more useful on my turn after this. So Shinislaw is trying to get some trades here, trying to either get a settlement or development card. He didn't play a knight, so that indicates to me that this is a different development card. Ponkacheese goes to 6 points, and with the longest road he could easily go to 8. So the 7 rolls and everyone besides Ponkacheese has to hand in a bunch of cards. So like I'm going to make the claim here. So if Ponkacheese builds 1 more road, he goes to 8 points, and then anything can happen. It goes on the 6 ore, so let's see who EmeraldAngel decides to steal from. Okay, so actually I do get stolen from, so that's a bummer for me. And now I'm going to put it on the 10 ore and steal from Ponkacheese. I roll a 6, so I could city here, but I have a couple of options. I could also get a development card, which might be the best move actually. Make sure that I get the largest army. So I'm trying to get a sheep here. This doesn't do that much. I go to 6 cards instead of 7, so that absolutely does nothing, but this was not a good move. So the sheep was also stolen from me. We see a 10 roll, really good for Ponkacheese. He might be able to, okay, so get the development card. And what you want to assume right here, especially later on in the game, is that everything is a victory point. With 1 road, Ponkacheese could go to 9 points, basically. And Shinislaw is on 7 points already. So that's what you want to assume, because that's basically worst case scenario. Well, Monopoly is of course, but I don't gain anything with that, but I don't 7 out, which is also key. So I'm trying to see whether or not I can get a wood here. By trading in 2 bricks, Ponkacheese accepts the deal. I don't know if I should take it with him. Shinislaw also accepts this. Also don't know if I should take that deal. So I did place the road down in time. Okay. So the 5 rolls, because I picked up some sheep. The knight played by Shinislaw. I steal from Ponkacheese. Like, in his eyes, he's closer to winning than I am right now, which I think is reasonable to assume. However, what people don't realize is that EmeraldAngel can take longest road at any point, so Ponkacheese is not that close to winning in the long game. So let's see what EmeraldAngel is going to do. She's going to connect her roads, making it way more difficult for Ponkacheese to win the game. However, as you can see right now, she has 7 visible victory points and 2 development cards. She could actually be on 9 points right now. However, she doesn't have any settlement spots left on the board. So she has to city up. Shinislaw rolls the 7 and he has 14 cards, so let's see what he's going to do with that. Let's see who he thinks is the biggest threat right now. And I'm definitely going to make the case that EmeraldAngel is the biggest threat right now, but I actually get stolen from. It's really tough to make these decisions under this time pressure because, like, as you can see at the timer, this goes really fast. Only 40 seconds per turn, and EmeraldAngel built a city and a road building, so still gotta assume she's at 9, but with this city she now has a settlement spot to win the game. Our challenger seems to be in the best position to win this game right now. And I rolled a set. I used a knight, steal from EmeraldAngel, get a sheep, and roll the 6. Okay, the 6 is a really big move. So now I might be able to port my ore for wheat and wood and build the settlement on the 9-12. And this is important because I don't have any victory points in my hand. I need 4 settlement spots to win the game with buying 4 cities, and largest army is 10 points. So that's why I need this 4th settlement spot. And I was willing to trade in my really precious ore for. Shinislaw also built the settlement, and he could still contest for largest army. We know that at least one of them is not a knight. So far it's still safe. I 7 out again, Ponkacheese 7's out. Get rid of my brick. I don't really need brick. Road by Pankachis secures the spot on the 8th brick. He could have maybe done it on the sand tile, so then he would have maybe shot at the longest road, but does it otherwise to cut off Shinislaw, I presume. So we roll the 2 and the 7. So I'm going to steal from EmeraldAngel again. Maybe Shinislaw as well, he could also be on 8. I get a victory point, so oh wow, that puts me on 9 points. So if I can get a city, then I win the game. So Shinislaw, no knight, no monopoly, but a year of plenty instead. So that's a disappointment for him. And he gets 2 development cards out of this, so that might help him a lot. And we roll the 8. Now a monopoly on wheat, wow, holy cow. So this is really good for Pankachis, but it doesn't hurt me. Like the 2 things you want to do with the monopoly, stop others and help yourself. And it does help him a lot, but doesn't necessarily stop me. So like if I can get some good rolls in the next orbit, I still win faster than he does. So this is actually pretty good for me. So Shinislaw steals from Pankachis. Okay, that's lucky for me. Pankachis can still win easily as well with Settlement City, not that far from it. And he has more cards than I do, so it's justifiable. So, okay, so he wants to steal from both of us. Now we roll the 9. So Shinislaw actually has... Okay, so Pankachis goes to 9. EmeraldAngel rolls the 2, so she, with 10 cards in hand, she goes to 9 at least. Can she also go to 10? So she gets the... Okay, 3 cards left, no development card. What do I need? I roll a 6, so I have the ore to port it, get a wheat, build a city, and that's 10 points, and that's the game. So thank you all for watching, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I wish you all a very great day.